All right, so two colleagues came to me asking for a little bit of help. One with 20 plus years of experience, the other one with fewer than 2 years of experience. Same exact issue. On their evaluation or latest meeting with their boss, they both got criticized for not being able to get stuff done. And for the one in particular, early career professional, I was like, well, explain it to me. And I made sure I listened more than I talked. And I said, explain to me what the issue is. And they said, well, here's the thing. I get all these assignments and all these projects and all these initiatives, and all of them are the most important thing in the world. They're all equally important. So consequently, everything needs to get done all of the time, obviously with considerations of time, cost, and quality. Like, they all need to be great. And I'm like, okay, well, is that hard to do? And they're like, it's impossible to do. I'm working like 16 and 18 hours a day just to try to get these most important things done. It never ends. And I said, so what was the criticism from your leader? And they said, I don't have the ability to prioritize my work. And I said, but you just told me everything is important. So therefore, if everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. And they said, that's right. And the more that I work, the more comes my way. The more doesn't get done, the more I get criticized for not getting my work done. I said, okay, I think I understand here. We probably have two issues on our hands. One is your ability to manage that task load. And two is probably a leadership problem, not giving you the support or guidance that you need to really understand what's most important. Frustrated, they turned to me and said, but what do I do? All I know is everything is important. My response back was the following, and I ask you to consider it. I asked a question. I said, let me see here. How long could you go without air? And they replied back, I don't know, about 3 minutes. And I said, great. How long could you go without water? And they said, I don't know, maybe 3 days. I said, how long could you go without food? They said, probably 3 weeks. I said, that sounds about right. So what I would say when you have a task, initiative, or series of projects that are all the highest priority that you need to do, I would say write down air, water, food. Then take those tasks, initiatives, and priorities and line them up. Something is air. Something is water, and something is food. In other words, there is one thing that is the most important in your mind. Second most important, and third most important. Line them all up. Then, as you have gone down what's air, water, and food, and you listed them across, then from that, pick which is the most important air, pick the most important water, pick the most important food. Circle them, highlight them, outline them. Bring that roadmap to your leader and say, boss, these are all the projects that I'm working on. This is the priority that I'm going to undertake. Is there anything that you want to add, change, delete in order for me to get this work done? Now, they might come back with some changes or whatever, but the point is, when you're done, you have a plan that you have both aligned on in terms of task, initiative, and priority. Now you can apply your brilliant resource to the most important air, the most important water, the most important food, and then work your way down across that list, the next air, the next water, the next food. Why? Because if you only work on that air, on those, oh my gosh, the house is burning down, most important things, even though air is the most important thing for us to be able to survive, to breathe, if you don't drink any water, or if you don't eat any food, you're gonna die. So pick that most important air. Take a breath, do that project, or get that project going. Then take a sip of water, get the next project going. that you and your boss, your leader, have aligned on, and then take a bite of food. Get that one started and going. And get them finished in the way that you have aligned with your leader. Now, that way, under that circumstance, you can report on progress, you can report on status, you can report on dependencies, you can report on risks, you can report on issues, and you're completely aligned. Then, if you want to change priorities, like the priority changes, you can bring that list back, or your leader can refer to that list and say, hey, we're going to make this one that is food, we need to make this one water. Well, if everything was already water, is already filled, that cup is filled, then that water then can go down to food. Or maybe that one moves up to air, and one that's in air needs to come down to food. That's the universe that you have to work on. And then if something new comes in, then something else can get bumped as a result. But that is the alignment that you have in terms of priority with your leadership, and it allows you to sleep at night a little bit and still get everything done that's most important. So next time you're a little overwhelmed in terms of task or project or initiative, think to yourself first, what is air, what is water, what is food? Write it down, share it with your leader, come to alignment and agreement on that air, water, and food, and you go have at it. Go be a brilliant soloist, go be part of the team, solve complex business problems and opportunities with intellectual curiosity and critical thinking, omni-mode, omni-channel communication, and grit and determination to get stuff done in terms of time, cost, and quality. Does that make sense? Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you all very, very much. Great.